Where would the world be without art? Examine any example of social change throughout history, and somewhere within the story, you will find art in at least one of its many forms. Art and music are timeless. Even long after an artist is gone, their work can still influence the world they left behind. Since the dawn of time, art has been used to teach and express ideas. Art has the power to change minds, to open doors, to unite people, and to liberate individuals as well as entire communities. Art is a language understood across international borders. Art is the match that is lit when struck against the rigid moments in life, and art is the flame that illuminates the truth. Art is reflective, adaptive, and innovative. Art is an instrument of change. Namibia gained its independence in 1990 after many years of the liberation struggle. During those years, music was used as a powerful tool to not only entertain and bring hope to soldiers and civilians, but also to promote political messages.
My name is Jesiah Nombanza. Originally, I'm from a village called Munja, that is 15 kilometers south of Shakati. I am the manager of operations of Ndilimani Cultural Troupe Band. The idea of this band was to entertain, first of all, the freedom fighters, especially the combatants. Combatants are like freedom fighters with the guns, the guys who went to the front. The idea was always to entertain the plain combatants, but also to mobilize people inside the country to join the struggle. Because we need more soldiers, we need more people. There's a song about the founding president. It says, Sema Olipeni, Sem, where are you? Raise the flag. And that was the song all the time. So Ndilimani, give me that song. Sema Olipeni, Yelule Pandel. So everybody almost, irrespective of different language groupings, everybody in Namibia knows this song. You know, songs are very, very important in a liberation struggle. When you are happy, you sing, but when you lose also some of your comrades, you know, there are songs that really will relate to that, and they will comfort everybody and encourage that, okay, so comrade has passed on, they have left us, but we have hope.
Another well-known Namibian musician who went into exile during the liberation struggle was Ras Shyama, a reggae artist, Rastafarian, and musical activist.
My name is Ras Shyama, and I come from a country called Namibia. I am a musician, categorizing myself as an Afro reggae singer-songwriter. But at the time when we were young, you know, Namibia was under a system called apartheid by the South African white minorities. So freedom was not really a thing for us. And then I got into exile. As young people, we crossed the borders at the northern part of Namibia into Angola, where an organization of Namibian people was formed as a liberation struggle movement. And then May the 4th, 1978, the South African regime came bombarding that place. It was mainly women and children and a few men. So they massacred about 1,000 people. And it just got me because I experienced the fever, because I lived in Ovambaland, in a village. Kasinga is just about 160 kilometers away from my house. And there was a camp of the South African army just in my village. So you would see, I could see the helicopters and the, tanks, and they were gathering their arms and ammunition. So something was going to happen. So I experienced that fever, and then 5 days after, we just had something with So man, as somebody coming from Namibia and some of my family got murdered there, I had to write a song about that. But we still not have to forget the past, because it's the past, the history that makes us stronger.
Artists like Ras Shyama and the members of Ndilimani used music to express themselves and also to initiate change in Namibia before independence. Both Ras and Ndilimani still write music and perform around the country today, bringing the people of Namibia together through song and dance. However, while artists who came out of the liberation struggle still hold space in the Namibian people's hearts, there is no shortage of up-and-coming musicians and artists who use their talents as a platform to express themselves and their interpretations of their surrounding environment. The impacts of the liberation struggle can still be seen and felt today. Nej is an artist and activist living in Windhoek whose parents were affected by the civil and political unrest during the years leading up to independence. Because of the environment she grew up in, Nej is not afraid to use her voice and talents to express ideas and initiate discussions.
My name is Nej Mongo, and I am a multimedia artist and an activist. I am from Namibia. I'm a third-generation refugee. I'm really mixed. I have Congolese, Portuguese, Oshivambo, and Swedish culture, so I'm just like a cocktail. Right now I'm busy working on the Kifa Festival, which we're working with street kids and teaching them art as a therapy technique. So we take these kids around and we have soup kitchens for them. Also, I do films as well. So I've started my own GoFundMe page, and I made a short film about street kids, and I take care of them by myself, but it's a little bit hard. Obviously, I have 20-something kids altogether. Yeah, and also Stolen Moments, which is my mother's and her boyfriend's project. It's about Namibian music history during apartheid times, because during 1940 to 1990s, the black man was not allowed to speak in his own language, especially on radio, and he was not allowed to give certain messages, or no Bob Marley is allowed to be played. So, but there was actually a lot of stuff going on, underground crazy disco halls and music and illegal vinyls and stuff. So we've spent the past 8 years collecting all of these vinyls and all of this history and pictures and stuff, and so we're busy working on that, and I'm actively working on that. Yeah, I'm also part of the gender-based violence coalition, and we do protests, and we're trying to amend sexist laws in our government right now. And also I'm part of Operation Odalate Naiteke, which means in my language, break the fence. Yes, and this is artists who are doing art to provocate social thoughts and mentality and all of that. So for me, I just want to make sure that I'm expressing my own pains, my own thoughts, my happiness, whatever, and seeing, hey, can someone else relate to me, and how can I change your life? Change starts with you. It starts in your home, it starts in your body, it starts in your thoughts. So if you want change to happen around you, you have to start with yourself, and you have to be the solution. If there's problems and there's no one doing anything about it, then you have to, with the little bit that you can, to start to build it and start to support your friends. Mental illness is a real thing, and I feel like all of us are kind of getting over trauma and stuff. So let's start talking about it. Let's start connecting. Let's start supporting each other. And yes, stay beautiful.
Nej hopes that her work helps people by moving them emotionally and inspiring them to make changes in society by first making changes within themselves. Another rising artist in Namibia, Fire16, also hopes his art inspires people to make a change within themselves by reflecting on their own spiritual journey.
My real name is Mulenga Mwelwa, and I'm actually originally from Zambia. My rapper name is Fire16. I'm actually a gospel artist, a Christian rapper, if you may call it, and so whatever situation or whatever I see in real life, and put in my song, I make sure it's written from God's perspective. I want to pick up broken people. I want to keep encouraging people to keep winning or to keep succeeding and not to give up. I want to encourage people not to give up on life, on themselves. I want to see my songs touching people in that sense. Yeah, I want people to be strong. Yeah, I just started getting to know God more, reading the Bible, and yeah, like I found peace. Like there was just this thing that was missing, but in the midst of everything that was happening in my family, I found peace in reading the Bible, and it was just an overwhelming peace.
The Bible was brought to Namibia by the first Rhenish missionaries in the late 1800s. Today, Christianity is the most widely practiced religion in Namibia, with the largest denomination being Lutheran. Although Christianity has been able to provide some people with hope and healing, the traditional aspects of Christianity have also had a large influence on societal standards that many artists and activists are working hard to reverse. Makeup artist and photographer Renate Shikongo uses her art as a form of expression and a platform to educate her audience, empower women, and deconstruct the patriarchy.
My name is Renate Shikongo. I am a visual arts student, but I'm a graduate this year. And I am also known for makeup, so I'm a makeup artist back home, and I'm from Windhoek, the capital city of Namibia. My work has to do with the woman emancipation, so I try to deconstruct patriarchy and I try to emancipate and empower women. So I captured a few themes, sisterhood, like femininity. We are getting stronger and stronger, and we're finding a voice, and we will not tolerate any BS no more.
Music, movies, and makeup. Artists and activists in Namibia certainly do not lack creativity when it comes to the medium for expressing their ideas. And in today's world, controlled by technology and urbanization, many times our teaching methods and problem-solving skills must be creative as well.
My name is Chris. I'm a Namibian artist. I'm born and raised here in Namibia. This is my mixed media artwork that I submitted for the Namibian Arts Fair. And I used this painting just to sort of give a voice to the voiceless, to the marginalized people of our societies and everything. Because, in one of our major problems that we face here, in Africa at large and in Namibia as a country is urbanization, the influx of people to towns in search of better lives and everything. And what that does to the country is that it sort of puts a heavy strain and a heavy burden on the towns and everything, because it cannot incarcerate all the people who come there and everything. And in that process, slums and ghettos develop because there's no adequate housing that can sort of incarcerate all the people and everything. The problem is that, and that has to date back to post-independence, our governments didn't really have a blueprint of decentralizing the natural resources and jobs and everything to the different demographic equations of the country and everything. They sort of consolidated all these opportunities in the cities, and that put a heavy strain on the other places, in the sense that people abandoned the other places to come search for a good livelihood in the towns and everything. And that, what that does to the natural resources and everything, it depletes them and everything, because it puts a heavy unexpected burden on the water resources, housing, and all these basic services and everything. And when I'm speaking under correction, I don't know, like the recent statistics that came out, it said like in Windhoek, an estimate of 300 people live in Windhoek, but 50% or 60% of those people live in shanty towns or ghettos, as we call them here, where they are marginalized, where they don't have access to basic services like toilets and proper water and things like that. So in that regard, it really puts a heavy strain on the natural resources, because there's a disparity between the demand and supply. Yeah.
The natural environment is the largest shared issue on Earth. One of the most dynamic aspects of art is its ability to bring international awareness to these shared problems. Art, in all its forms, has the ability and the power to transcend the imaginary boundaries on maps or within our own minds. Art can speak volumes for the voiceless and can be consumed by audiences distant in location and time. Art has access to the soul. Art has the ability to mobilize populations. Art has the capacity to illuminate truth and promote social change. Art encompasses all of these strengths and more. But does art have the power to change the world?
Absolutely, most definitely. We just have to get more art out there and somehow try to convince the system that art is important. You need to support your artist friends and support art in general.
Music is also, it's just magic. You find this instrumental music, no message. It's just somebody playing saxophone, but it is able to sort of push your thinking beyond the normal, of before. And they say once your thinking has been pushed to a certain level, it will never be the same. It will never shrink somehow. It will remain here.
If music could be given a chance and full support, especially in a country like Namibia, we would not think about tribalism. Because we will gather every weekend.
I believe that art is the only thing that can actually get to people's head because it comes in so many different means.
Art makes love accessible. Our art makes things that we're not ready to talk about accessible. And that's what the world needs. The world needs somewhere to reach out to, especially because we are constantly bombarded with reasons to lose hope. So I wouldn't say that, art is certainly the solution, but it's a solution one has to reach out for.
Hi Congo mane, hi Congo chelete, hi Congo mane, hi Congo chelete. I buy cigarettes, I Congo money to buy some more. Some people, they got no shame. Some people, don't waste my time. I Congo money, I Congo chelete, I Congo money, I Congo chelete. I'm a poor man who needs some money. I'm a poor man who needs a girl. I'm a single boy, single warrior. A single boy, single warrior. Single warrior. A single boy, single warrior. Hi Congo money, hi Congo chelete. Ay Congo mane, ay Congo chelete. Itama, 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 dakana, dakana, dakana. Itama, 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 dakana, dakana, dakana. Itama, 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 dakana, dakana, dakana. Itama, 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 dakana, dakana. Ay Congo man.